Part 2 continues. The interplay between energy context, chaos, risk, lying, love, and evil. Life's natural state, as understood through the second law of thermodynamics, inherently involves a certain level of chaos. This chaos correlates with risk. The greater the chaos, the less control, the higher the risk, particularly from the perspective of the dominant entity at the time. It is within this natural state, a natural equilibrium of energy context, chaos, and risk. The fourth law introduces the workings of Nash's equilibrium, Figure 4. A core assumption in fourth law is that Nash's governing dynamic concept mathematically delineates the strategies in life that reduce the universe's energy state. Furthermore, this same energy-reducing pattern should be directly linked with the emergence of love and intelligence in nature, as in a love-producing machine. Figures 4 and 6 illustrate this interpretation of the Nash equilibrium, which dynamic is guided by the second law of thermodynamics, since a precondition for Nash equilibrium to operate in nature is a chaotic context. The only way to reduce chaos in a system is to add energy working against the second law of thermodynamics. Thus, the second law of thermodynamics is crucial to the fourth law. Basically, it should mean that whatever we find in any life form which has developed in a chaotic context should represent love and intelligence, at least leaning more towards love than towards evil. Furthermore, given that the universe is a place with limited energy should be what define the terms love and evil. Since seen through the lens of the fourth law, the question of what love and evil is should be relative to this crucial fact about the universe. The decision that once made the universe being a place with limited energy, as stated by the second law of thermodynamics, simultaneously standardized the meaning of the terms love and evil. In conclusion, the question of what evil really is has been of much debate throughout history. What fourth law suggests is that the term is relative to the second law of thermodynamics. In other words, that the question of what separates love from evil has something to do with thermodynamics. The biological proof in fourth law of thermodynamics. As a result of the above, the accumulation of beneficial traits over detrimental ones should come with observable evidence in nature. If the pattern just described is true, it should be rather easy to spot this pattern after approximately 4 billion years in this good equilibrium. This evidence is referred to as the biological proof, Figure 5. Fourth law uses ants as the biological proof to support its core principles. Ants are chosen as model organisms to serve as the biological proof to fourth law due to their similarities with human societies and their extensive adaptations to natural chaos over millions of years, a period significantly longer than that of human existence. Despite this long period in a chaotic context, ants have not shown a propensity for developing detrimental traits over beneficial ones. Rather, they demonstrate the opposite. For example, in Figure 5, the ants are sacrificing themselves for one another by creating a living bridge. Hence, greed does not systematically seem to be given the status of fitness in nature's equilibrium. Further, the same pattern can be identified in all natural life forms on Earth, including humans. It is just easier to identify the behavior in a more primitive life form, such as ants. energy context as prime mover in the development of evil phenotypes. The fourth law suggests an unbreakable sequence of events that lead to the manifestation of both evil and good traits in nature. The natural outcome in this universe, as evidenced by the biological proof just described, should be a slow but certain accumulation of love and intelligence. Moreover, as just described over, the prime mover behind what seems to be the net production of love and intelligence is attributed to the second law of thermodynamics. Its role in the dichotomy of chaos versus order may render the limited energy context in the universe the prime mover in the chain of events. The chain of events which eventually leads up to giving good or evil traits fitness in the struggle for survival game. When energy is scarce, nature is compelled to generate a certain amount of chaos, guaranteeing Nash equilibrium to work. Conversely, in an environment of constant abundance, a system could minimize the chaotic elements. Under such new and unnatural circumstances, Nash equilibrium might diminish in significance, thereby altering nature's definition of what fitness might be. We are probably not talking about physical fitness that worries nature, but mental traits to be the major energy drain. See lying theme later. According to the fourth law, it is during this shift in energy context and chaos that the determination of whether good or evil traits are favored with fitness by nature. Moreover, the fourth law suggests that the universe is programmed from its inception to culminate in a world where true positive traits are given fitness over evil traits. As already mentioned, this is because of the second law of thermodynamics. Theoretically, if the universe were created with constant abundance, it should likewise be programmed to reach the opposite state of paradise, the concept of hell. In such a machine, a principle of justice and the gentle and soft sides described in the paradise machine model would probably vanish with this opposite universal energy context. In summary, the second law of thermodynamics could be considered the prime mover in the universe's progression towards the paradise state. It is therefore one of the zero-risk arguments in Part 4. How lies and truth should represent evil and good traits respectively. The prime mover principle seeks to further explain the production process described over. See also Figure 8. As previously mentioned, the energy context influences the level of chaos and, consequently, the risk involved in the survival game. Ideally, a zero-risk strategy is only achievable in a scenario with constant abundance, where chaos can be eliminated to minimize risk in the struggle for survival. Moreover, the fourth law posits that lies consume energy in nature, hence removing the punishment of excessive deceit in the survival game. While mimicry and camouflage are common, fully cultivating a lie does not appear to be advantageous as a dominant trait so far in nature. In fact, fourth law assumes that evil traits is an enormous energy drainage not easy to see by humans, in comparison to, for example, physical handicaps. Physical handicaps should not be something nature is afraid of, but rather the invisible energy drainage of mental traits. This energy concept regarding lies was also highlighted in the first article, Figure 9. Example, a physical handicapped person should not be an issue to nature as long as the individual has not triggered the zero-risk mechanism described in the third article. Again, this is an example of the soft sides to nature by applying the paradise machine model. The point here is that the energy principle in the universe is not there to punish physical handicaps, but to hinder accumulation of evil traits. Hence, if the machine must follow a principle of justice in its judgment, Part 3, a handicapped person should in theory get an extra reward in the paradise state. Again, underlining the importance of zero risk or not zero risk to nature, and how the paradise machine model can bring to light, soft, and gentle sides of nature, not observed so far. The negative mental traits nature fears will probably conceal their presence as much as possible and persist until the deception is complete. The underlying motive would be to reduce survival risks. The question is, when will evil traits stop hiding its true nature if nothing stopped it? It's tempting to speculate that the ultimate goal is a 180 degrees flip, cultivating the lie 100%, figure 10, which according to the theory will be possible to achieve in constant abundance, but not in a natural context.